What's up, everybody? Rant N Rich here. So I quickly wanted to recap last weekend's event, UFC 241. It went down. Overall, the card was okay. It was all right. A lot of decisions, though. Some of the decisions were pretty entertaining. There were 12 fights in total, and I believe 9 of those were decision, and then there were 3 KO TKO. So wasn't the most exciting event in the world, but I know the main card really stepped it up a notch. Getting into my personal picks, this is the part I really didn't want to get into, but anybody that's seen my show before and knows me knows that I'm an open book. Whether I do good, whether I do bad, I'm going to put it out there. I didn't do that great. I was 50%. 2 fighters out of my 4 won. The other 2, I really had a lot of confidence in it, but it didn't work out for me. It wasn't a good night for me, and it happens. This is the betting world. This is the fight game. This is one of the hardest sports to bet on is MMA. So again, I was 50%. Unfortunately, I did have that parlay. So one of my fighters out of the parlay won. The other one lost. Let's get into it. Manny Bermudez. I don't know what was going on with him. With all the research that I did, I later on found out, I think Joe Rogan said before the fight started, or somebody said that it was announcing that this was going to be his last fight in that weight class. And my heart sunk. I was like, oh no, can't be. So yes, I don't know how I missed that, but yeah. Last fight in the weight class, and it showed. I kind of understood after I saw there was no real urgency from him. Bermudez, he was going for submissions a little bit later on in the fight, but there was no real aggression. There was no real urgency to win the fight, and I get it. I get it. I don't agree with it, but I understand why he looked the way he looked. If he's not going to continue his career at that weight class, why is he going to kill himself in the octagon over it? And he was smiling. He knew he lost, and at the end of the fight, he's smiling, and it looks like he was feeling good, which I never understood that either. So anyway, unfortunately, he lost, and because I put him on my parlay, the next fight I had was Sandhagen. He won, but they were both a little high on the higher end, so I parlayed them. So of course, both fighters have to win for you to get that parlay. So ended up losing that, unfortunately. Moving on to my third pick was Costa. The Romero fight was very, very entertaining. It was insane. Both gassed out. Both have a lot of heart, like I said. Both have knockout power because they both got clipped at different times. But at the end of the day, Costa ended up squeezing out a decision win. I believe it was unanimous decision. I thought maybe one of the judges should have had it for Romero. I know a lot of people thought Romero won the fight. I thought it was very close. So if Romero won the fight, that would have been even worse for me. But I would have at least understood because it was very close. Towards the end of that fight, Costa was fading very quickly. Romero was already tired, but I think he got his second win. So that the end of that third round was really Romero's time. But I thought Costa had the first 2 rounds. Again, it was very, very close. Could have went either way. I know a lot of people had issues with that one. And then the last pick that I had was Anthony Pettis. I really thought he was going to get it done against Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz, I mean, he's a machine. That's bottom line. He will wear somebody out boxing with them until it's time to turn it on. Anthony Pettis, I will say he did hurt his foot. I think it was his right foot. I'm not sure if he broke it or not. I saw on social media he had it, I think it was casted up, some type of brace on there. So he was injured. I will give him that, but at the end of the day, this has happened to him before. He's been injured in the middle of a fight and then ended up not really pushing it the way he should. So it's an unfortunate thing. Hopefully Anthony Pettis didn't do anything serious to his leg. But yeah, Nate Diaz, I mean, he's a monster. Out of the octagon for 3 years, comes back and KOs or TKOs actually Anthony Pettis. I got to give it to him. There's nothing I can say that can make Anthony Pettis sound good after that fight. So anyway, those were my picks. 50% down 100 on this event. Don't worry, I'll be back for UFC 242. It will get better. I'll get that back and then some, I promise you. Doesn't happen often where I'm losing money, losing bets like that, but it happens. It's the fight game, guys. And just think about it. If we were all perfect, if we were that good at betting, we'd all be trillionaires, right? So that's all I got for you. Just wanted to get in here and recap the event. I'll be back for UFC 242. And that's going to be coming up very shortly, so look out for that. And until next time, Rant N Rich here, signing out from sunny SoCal. I'm out of here. Latest. Oh, and one more thing. I almost forgot to mention Kama Worthy coming through, beating Devontae Smith. Huge underdog. Devontae Smith actually ended up going all the way to minus 1,000 right before the fight. I know he opened up at a minus 775, and I said for that price, even though I like him, I would never take him at that price. And look what happens. I told you guys, can't always base yourself off of heavy favorites, big odds. If you missed my video, 5 top tips on betting on MMA, please go check that out down below in my video section. Okay, that's it. All right, see ya.